welcome back to Finnerty. Glad you're here. I'm Rob Finnerty. And as I watch these confirmation hearings play out each day, I'm reminded of just how pathetic the Democratic Party has become. When Donald Trump was shot in July, he had the presence of mind in that moment, after 8 bullets were fired at his head, to stand up, address the crowd, and yell, "Fight, fight, fight." I honestly think that he won the election that day in Butler, Pennsylvania. America is a nation of fighters from the very beginning, and somewhere deep within every single one of us is a deep respect and appreciation for fighting for your family, fighting for your children, and fighting for your country. But this version of the Democratic Party, no matter how hard they try, are just not fighters. None of them. And as I've watched the confirmation hearings, I'm reminded of that fact every single day. On Monday, nobody touched Pete Hegseth. He did fine. It was embarrassing to watch. Elizabeth Warren, 75 years old. Mazie Hirono, 77. Angus King, 80. Jeanne Shaheen, 77. Jack Reed, 75. Richard Blumenthal, 78. Those are the Democrats on the Senate Armed Services Committee, and they were embarrassed by a 44-year-old guy who's not perfect. Pete Hegseth has made mistakes, but he's a fighter. And next Monday, when Donald Trump takes the oath of office, that's going to be the biggest change. From a party of wet mops to a party of fighters, people that care, people that have character. And I'm still not sure why we're doing this. So the temperature outside Monday in Washington right now, low of 10 degrees, high of 21 degrees, which would make it one of the coldest inaugurations we've ever seen. 1985 was the coldest. It was just 6 degrees in Washington that day, and it was also Ronald Reagan's second inaugural. And at 73 years old, the Gipper said, "No, thank you, guys. We're going to move it inside. We'll stuff as many people into the Capitol as we can." They moved it all inside. It went off without a hitch. I never got why the inauguration had to be outside. In 1841, William Henry Harrison was the oldest person at that time that we'd ever elected to the presidency. He was 68 years old. When he took the oath of office, young by today's standards, sure, but Harrison was dogged by questions about his age during the entirety of that campaign. So on Inauguration Day, he made a fatal decision. He wanted to prove to the country that he was fit, youthful, ready to serve. And he delivered the longest inaugural address in American history, just over 2 hours in 25-degree temperatures. It did not work out for Harrison. He died 31 days later after getting the flu on Inauguration Day. It was the same thing with John F. Kennedy in 1960. He refused to wear a hat or a coat in 20-degree weather when he delivered these famous words.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man.
Early days right there of color television, and you can see his breath. You can see how cold it is. Temperatures, again, Monday, right around 16 degrees when Donald Trump takes the oath of office. I'm hearing that Trump will have a coat on. I also do not expect his inaugural to be 2 hours long. But something's happening right now, and the energy swirling around Donald Trump and this new administration of fighters is something that we didn't see in 2016. It honestly reminds me of Kennedy in The New Frontier. 8 years ago, the media laughed at Donald Trump, but they're not laughing anymore. Country star Carrie Underwood announced this week that she will sing America the Beautiful at a Trump inaugural event on Sunday. Kid Rock will also be performing. The Village People are going to sing YMCA, and the media just can't stand it.
She says, "I love our country." How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
Carrie Underwood says it's time to bring the country together. And you might remember these headlines from 8 years ago. Musician after musician, star after star, turning down Donald Trump, refusing to be a part of the 2016 inauguration. But I thought this one was strange. Country music star Garth Brooks performed at the inauguration 4 years ago for Joe Biden and then turned down the Trump team in 2016, and he's disappeared this year. He says he's on tour. And look, I get it. If you're on tour and you can't be at the inaugural events, I get it. But can you imagine being an American and turning down the opportunity to be part of an inauguration, especially after what we saw Garth Brooks do just last week in a church. He was available suddenly. He was able to get back from this tour. So Garth Brooks sang a song at Jimmy Carter's funeral, and I thought the song choice was just a little strange. Jimmy Carter apparently asked Brooks to sing Imagine by the Beatles at his funeral. Jimmy Carter taught Sunday school for more than 40 years, and he asked Garth Brooks to sing a song called Imagine. The lyrics, I'm sure you all know, but have you ever really paid attention to what the Beatles are saying? It was an odd choice. Imagine there's no heaven, it's easy if you try. Again, this was all in a church. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. That is very strange to sing in a church. Garth Brooks had no problem with that. Garth Brooks will sing that at a church. He'll perform at Barack Obama's inauguration and Biden's inauguration, but he won't sing if Donald Trump is being inaugurated, because Garth Brooks would apparently rather support this man who yesterday has now gotten to the point cognitively where he's forgotten how to sign a bill. This is our current American president. Take a look.
The second I'm signing is the establishment of the Highlands National Monument. Here we go. Got to fill this in. I know, Santino. I'm trying. Why, the day of, in this hand. You'll fill in the dates here, guys. All right. The 14th, sir. No, I know that, but.
So people are laughing, but Joe Biden is serious. He has dementia. He has Alzheimer's. We'll find out at some point. The truth is that Joe Biden was a fluke in the White House from the start. Donald Trump was not. Donald Trump is going to be looked at a lot like FDR. I know Democrats won't agree, but FDR was president for 12 years, then he died. When Donald Trump completes his second term, he'll have finished 12 years as the face of political America. Donald Trump was president for 4 years, and then we had Joe Biden. He was in charge in name only, but Donald Trump was still the face of political America. And when Joe Biden leaves after 4 years of scandal, 4 years of lies, from the border to the Afghan withdrawal to inflation, record high gas prices, food prices, record high mortgage rates, he will be remembered for a weaponized Justice Department, lawfare, Ukraine, Gaza, DEI, woke politics, a legacy based on race and skin color and sexual orientation more than anything else. And last night, during his farewell address, for some unexplained reason, Joe Biden thought it was a good idea to reference the Statue of Liberty 5 times. Take a look.
The Statue of Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, the Statue of Liberty.
So that is a very odd thing for Joe Biden to reference. On the side of the Statue of Liberty, there's a famous bronze plaque that reads, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." But nowhere on the side of the Statue of Liberty does it say, "Give me your tired, your poor, your criminals, your rapists, and your murderers." It definitely does not say that. And yet for the last 4 years, that's exactly who Joe Biden has let come into this country illegally, as Democrats tried to systematically alter the ethnic and racial makeup of this country while importing Democratic voters. The Great Replacement theory is no longer a theory. When you let in 12 million people illegally for 4 years, it's not a theory. Guess what? It's a policy, a Biden policy that will finally come to an end in 4 short days. And that will start with executive orders on Monday, and it will be followed by mass deportations. According to a recent poll, 54% of Americans support deporting illegal aliens. America voted for this. And over the last 4 years, 800,000 criminal illegal aliens have crossed over our southern border. Think about that. Almost 1 million people. But the left, for whatever reason, continues to take the side of the people who are here illegally, who commit crimes, over American citizens. And now the governors of states, Massachusetts, Illinois, California, New Jersey, Arizona, and several other blue states say they're not going to work with the Trump administration to deport criminal illegal aliens or illegals on the terrorist watch list.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.